I thought about doing it live, but I don't know the rules. And here's what I know: I am absolutely sure the legal system will be just as fair to Radio Sputnik 105.5 FM AM 1390
Right.
as they have been to Paul Manafort.
No, that's not gonna. Yeah, because unless you have your permission to do that, Maryland is a two-person.
Well, but he's
consent.
not calling Ben at home. He's calling his
in DC.
His DC
Okay,
office.
yeah. Well, DC is only one person consent.
That's exactly right. But
Yeah.
I think here's what the law is. I think if you're going to put someone live on the air,
But see, that now that changes. The FCC law changes when it comes to the radio, so you do have to have their permission to put them on air because now that's their likeness.
I guess. But
Oh, well,
that's why
I know. Almost got in trouble for that before.
See, that's why we're recording it.
Okay.
Because then we can go and if there's anything.
Yeah. Now that's Now the dynamics has changed if you recorded
Exactly
it
right.
there because
And
now
then
it's his
they-
possession now because he's
and
a
then
part
good
of it.
luck. Right. Exactly right. So we can edit it too. If someone
That's true.
says,
That's true.
"Thanks for calling Ben Cardin's office. My name is Lee. My home address is I don't know whatever."
Right.
Something.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay. So who are you? So who are your winners and losers of the week?
Okay, let's see. My winner, is the King James, LeBron James. LeBron James just, did his star power and took his money, to open up the school that he has, giving out, free supplies, free uniforms, bikes, and all that other stuff. So he's a huge winner because a lot of celebrities don't do that. They don't take it to that next, that next step to make sure that where they come from is.
Tim Black
going to
brought
be there.
this up earlier in the week.
Oh yeah, he was on yesterday, right?
He brought it up a couple days ago, I
Yeah.
think. But he brought up what LeBron's doing with the school. So yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's a great thing.
That's your winner and your loser?
My loser is NATO.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've been hearing about it since the 80s. And like I said, Trump did brief over it, a little bit over his campaign about, is this going to make sense? And I a little bit, like you said about Trump, I think they know how to play his game. Because, you butter him up, you get this. If you challenge him, you'll get this. And I think as far as NATO, he doesn't really want to go into it, but I think he's kind of scared to touch it as well.
See, everybody's got this experience. This is the way I view Trump. And I think it makes me unusual because most people try to view him through the lens of politics.
Right.
His policy. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it more from like a human behavior personality
And
thing.
I agree.
Everybody's seen people. Forget whether I don't care whether you like Donald Trump or not. Everybody's seen people who were obviously getting manipulated. Maybe it's
Right.
by their boyfriend, by their girlfriend,
Right.
by their sister,
Anybody. Right.
anybody. Maybe maybe they get involved in some kind of culty thing.
Right.
Maybe they get involved in a weird multi-level marketing. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I know
talking
what you
about.
mean.
Everybody's seen that. I'll use the multi-level marketing thing. I won't pick on a company, but everybody's had friends, and they're your friend, and you hang out and you chill, and suddenly they're like, "Hey, Holly, do you need cleaning supplies?"
Right.
And you're like, wait, what?
How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Right.
And
right.
suddenly they're like, Holly. And you're like, well, wait, this is already weird. But ecological cleaning supplies are a great way to not just make your house better, but I know you could use some extra money. And suddenly you go, oh, they've been sucked in by the pyramid monster.
Right.
Right?
True.
And if you look and you think to yourself, I know this person. They're smart.
Right.
They're cool. How did they get sucked into this?
Something triggered them. It was something that enticed them. As they say in the Bible, something that enticed you.
Well, and I'll tell you what enticed them. A sales pitch, which has been honed for years, that knows how
to cater to that person's personality.
Right. And that's what it is. So if you go to a seminar on buying houses with no money down, I guarantee you will leave that seminar going, I could buy houses with no money down.
Right.
Because the whole purpose of the seminar is to convince you. I have a friend who's very good at picking up the ladies.
Mm-hmm. The ladies.
But I know what he's doing, and you're a lady.
Yeah.
You probably know what he's doing too. If I describe some of it.
Yeah.
Right.
But we still fall for it.
Right. And the reason he's good at it is because he's done it a lot.
That's true.
And therefore, he knows if he says something, whatever, he's got ways to trigger this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also got ways, and here's the other thing too. This is easy. But again, you're an adult person. You know how easy it is to pick up on somebody who's just coming off a relationship.
Yeah.
Rebound, right?
There's the rebounder. You could tell.
So what I'm saying is, the way I analyze Trump is this. I go, here's a guy who, it's sort of in the back of his head, thought he might be a good president. He's actually president.
Now he's actually president. Like, now what?
Right. And the people who surround him have been doing this for years, and they have a really good sales pitch.
That's true.
And they're able to
They
go to
know
him.
politics. They know he's just in. He knows business, but they know politics, and politics is really, really, really tricky. That's why I didn't really want to run too much, because you got to be kind of like a sleazy. I don't want to say it this way, but it's so many a comparison. A sleazy used car salesman. Like, you know, this doesn't work right. You know, you don't know how long this car is going to last.
Right.
But then you're telling everybody, come vote for me because I could do this and this and this and that. You know what I mean? And we know we're not even going to fulfill any of those promises.
And the easiest thing in the world to do, I'm talking about the way I analyze Trump, Garland's back.
We're getting into Trump's head right now,
Which
man.
is
Trump on the couch.
Which is no. I
Trump
just
on
look
the
at it like I
couch.
do every person, and I'm saying, like, if you've ever had a friend who gets involved in like multi-level marketing,
Yeah, right.
and it's not that they're stupid. It's easy to go, oh, my friend was stupid. No, they're not stupid. They fell for a very good seasoned sales pitch.
Yep.
And what I'm saying is, anybody who's, we've talked to John Kiriakou about this. I don't care who you are, Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders or Ocasio or Rand Paul,
Right.
anybody. You get in that position, they come in and they go, President Nixon, we want to give you a briefing on what we've been doing. And they bring you out the slick book, and he's described the book, it's black and it's got trim on it, and we're going to tell you our secrets and everything else. And suddenly, even though you go into it going, well, these guys, you ever been upsold on a car?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you go into it going, they're not going to sell me the undercoat.
And you walk away with it.
You walk away with the undercoat.
Or you walk in and you say, I'm not going to spend over X amount of dollars a month.
Right.
And they find out and they get another 30 out of you.
They get another hour. That's just like me in the
$30 a month.
dollar
They're
store.
like,
I go
okay,
on one
look,
thing at the dollar
I know
store.
you
I
want to be
rack
at
up.
$400 a month, but look, you're getting the extra seats and blah 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 blah, and it's $30. Come on, with $30.
What's
it's a couple
$30
days at
extra?
McDonald's.
Come
Before
on.
you're walking out, you spent $60.
That $30
So
equals to
the
2,000
easy
over the
thing
years.
to do is, and I hear a lot of people do it. I'm going to pick on Stephen Lindemann, who we'd love having on the show. He's great. But just, I know Stephen thinks if he were president, he wouldn't fall for it. And I'm saying,
You would.
I'm
To some
saying
extent, yeah.
he very well might.
Yeah, you don't know the position until you get there.
Until you're in the position, and I guarantee you, all the people in the Trump administration were coming to him going, look, Mr. President, I know you mean well, and you know I'm 100% on board with you, but we took such a PR hit in Helsinki. We need to do this press conference today so the Democrats don't have ammunition to use against us.
And it's going to hurt
That's
us
true.
and hurt the party. And
It's
you gotta
gonna hurt
do
the
this
party.
for the good of the order and blah, blah,
Because
blah.
the Helsinki looked good on him. And that's the thing. It's like a counterintuitive. It's like,
Well-
as soon as he do something good, they're like, what can we get
Well,
him?
here's the other part of the narrative, and that is, here's what's interesting about the Helsinki summit. When he came back, the media went ape crap. You know, they're like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. Here's what's interesting
He just
about
came back
that.
to Putin.
Did you
They're-
look at the polls? If you look at the polls,
Right.
most Americans were like, okay, well, that's okay. Most Americans didn't freak out. But the media, if you'd have listened to the media, you'd have thought that the polls said 90%, 99% of all Americans think that Trump should be hung right now for treason. But when you look at the polls, most Americans were like, okay, well, you know what? If we're better off, if we have better relations with the nuclear power, that's probably better off for all of us.
It's pretty
People
better. I
didn't
mean, I
flip
think it's
out over it.
okay.
And
I
so the
think
way
it's okay.
the way I look at Trump is, honestly, it's the same way I would look at anybody in that position. That's why I bring up Sanders, just to go, even people you don't expect to fall for it,
Fell for it.
they're under such intense pressure. If you're up there getting called a traitor every day, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to want to go, well, no, I'm not a traitor. See, look, I don't.
Trying to prove yourself.
Trying
It's
to
just
prove-
like,
and
come
And here's the
on.
thing, as a progressive guy, you know what? I look at Trump now. People, they got to turn him into a monster, right? I look at Trump as a greedy billionaire. Why? Because I look at most billionaires as greedy billionaires.
Right.
Not, so that's the way I evaluate Trump. He's just another greedy billionaire.
Caller.
But from that perspective, I evaluate what he's doing as a person, not as a monster that's been created in my mind. And I can look and say, hey, if he does that, hey, I'm down with that. If he does that, yeah, that's what I'd expect a greedy billionaire to do. Not,
Exactly.
he's a vicious monster.
And forget greedy billionaire.
Yeah.
Billionaire.
Yeah.
Let me just go with billionaire for
Let's
a
just
second.
go with
Yeah,
that.
because saying greedy billionaire to me is a redundant statement.
No, I agree. You don't get to that position without having a sense. But by the way, I'm sure he also gives a lot to charity and everything else, because that's part of that
And
too.
I know a lot of people that aren't billionaires that are greedy.
No,
That's
right.
true.
But my
That don't
point
have
is,
nothing
when
to
you're
do
a
with that.
billionaire, you're two things. You're out of touch, literally,
Definitely.
with most people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you don't have to look at the price of hamburger.
That's
Remember
true.
when
I have to
George
look at the
Bush
price
Sr.
of anything.
remember when the elder George Bush, he went to a grocery store and he didn't understand how the thing worked.
That's
you know,
right.
he didn't understand what you got cooks.
Yeah,
you
there's
got
a-
cooks. You don't understand that.
And you don't know how out of touch you are.
Yeah,
And
it's
add
a level
this.
of disconnect.
The people who, to me, are the ones that I kind of respect when they start evaluating Trump. They say things like, okay, Trump is a businessman. And as a businessman, he probably this, and that. I'm more likely to listen to someone and have a little more trust of their evaluation because I know they're evaluating Trump from a perspective of what
that
they see
perspective
of
of
him
what they
instead of
say.
saying,
Well, and-
okay,
True.
Trump's an evil guy. And as an evil person, all evil
Right.
people
There's
wanna
really
do
no
evil.
merit.
That's why I thought Stephen's analysis was good. I agreed with his analysis broadly.
Right.
And even though he's not a Trump supporter, I am. But let me ask you this, Garland. You just got back. I take it you came back in the room, so I take it you called Ben Cardin's office.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
The
what
person
what
really
he
didn't, it
say?
wasn't much. They didn't really know much, but they took my information. They're supposed to get back to me, and I got a couple of names.
Okay, good. Okay.
So I said I'll call back in 1 week. So I'm gonna call back in a week. That's the one we want.
Yeah.
Is it?
When I call back in a week, but the person did say, well, I would say because I told him that it was I'd ask Mr. Senator Cardin, listen to Bill Browder's deposition, blah blah blah, in the Prevalon Holdings case, etc. And they just said, I'm sure he has because he's done a lot of work on that. I said, okay, thank you.
You have to really pound the pavement because I mean I've had situations where I had to call my councilman and you really have to kind of really push on him. You got to be like, is he there? Okay, well when is he going to be there?
But
And
see, I also want to know if I want to know for sure, because if he has, then I have follow-up questions. Does that make
That's
sense?
true.
Right. Well, here's one.
It's
Why
like
would
press
you
yes.
believe it? He contradicted everything he told you.
Yeah. So why didn't you bring that? See, this is my point. You could be an advocate for Bill Browder and still say, Mr. Browder, you gave a deposition in 2015. In that deposition, you were asked about the beating, and you were asked
exactly.
you were asked whether Sergei Magnitsky had passed his law degree, and whether he's a member of the bar. Can you just clarify for us why you said he was a lawyer?
Right.
And then you let Bill Browder give a softball answer. I'm saying.
I mean, but he can't even really
Look,
give a
here's what I
softball
would
answer.
do.
That
But
I
Ben
would
Cardin
sit-
couldn't even do
Here's
that.
what
Without
I would do.
discriminating
I would read it.
yourself.
I'd say, Bill Browder, in this deposition, you said that Sergei Magnitsky was your lawyer. You also said that he doesn't have a law degree and that he never went to law school. Can you explain? That's contradictory. Can you explain how those two things go together?
They're not even going
These
to
are your
allow you to
testimony.
ask that question. They're not even going to allow you to
Oh,
ask him
no.
that
That's
question
what I'm
because they
saying.
know what the
Because-
follow-up answer. There is no softball answer with that. He lied straight up. He lied about it. He knew his lawyer was not a lawyer, and he knew that.
And see, that's why I say the thing to understand is, and I'm getting very specific. That's why, like I say,
And we
if you say-
forgot to do our winners and losers.
No, we
it with
did. We
Holly.
did. While you
Okay,
was in
well,
the,
time.
it was in
We
the
might get
bathroom. I
to it
guess you
later.
come up Lex.
But this,
We
our
out here
next
doing stuff
guest,
without you?
We're going to get in. There's three things that they use against Russia: Syria, election interference, and Ukraine.